In your best scholarship, can you recommend to us one or two commentaries that are helpful? On my side, I know that you have written in your survey commentary on the dispensational side, R.L. Thomas, which you said competently old-fashioned dispensationalism is competent. Can you recommend some commentaries as a first question? In the light of G.K. Bill's theology of the temple that you mentioned earlier, how can I interpret Ezekiel 40, 41, 42, where there are so much details of the temple in the light of this, if you can, just generally? That'll be helpful.
Well, in terms of commentaries, as you rightly mentioned, I've written a little book called New Testament Commentary Survey, which surveys briefly something like 12 or 1,400 commentaries in English. And about every 5 years I bring it up to date. So in another, it's edition 6, I think, now at the moment. And another 2 years, it'll be edition 7, if the Lord gives me enough birthdays. And the reason I'm at the end of that book, I have best choices. So you can always look at that for any New Testament book. But I'm the first to acknowledge that nevertheless the best choice for one person may not be the best choice for another person, because it depends on what they've already read. If a person has never ever read a commentary in his or her life, then I might start them out with something in the Bible Speaks Today series. It's partly commentary, partly exposition. It's very edifying. It's bottom ladder, bottom rung on the ladder. Do you see? And then go up a little farther, and maybe commentaries in the Tyndale New Testament Commentaries series or something of that order. And then you can go up all the way to some commentaries specialize in biblical theology, some on the use of terms and the grammar and the exegesis, and some on Greek and so on. So it depends a bit on what you've already read. That's why I try to describe what's in there in the commentaries, and what I recommend when people start asking for commentaries. I want to say, who are you? What are you going to use it for? What have you already read? In fact, I've written a book on it. Go get the book. There are not generic answers to that sort of question. Sort of a middle-level commentary on the book of Revelation that is not too technical, not too advanced, but really does understand Jewish apocalyptic. Now, that's the background qualification here. Not too advanced, not too technical, readable, but thick enough that it's not simplistic, and does understand Jewish apocalyptic. I still think the one by Robert Mounce is pretty good, because he does understand Jewish apocalyptic. But I say that in that little book as well.